right, hi everybody. I hope you guys have been well. So today we're going to be recording why we're moving. And we're sharing one mic because the other mic's being a little funky, but we'll get it figured out. But do you want to explain why we're moving?
Sure. Yeah, it's been a whole journey, so we're going to talk about all of that. But the reason that we're kind of moving is of course, this house was temporary. And it's most people don't know, but my parents graciously allowed us to stay here. But it was a temporary fit of us moving to Arkansas because we had never lived here before. So we had just, always looking on what's going to happen in the future. And so we finally found something.
Yeah, and also little baby Shiloh is behind us in the stroller. He's getting some fresh air on his nap while we record. But yeah, it's been such a blessing to stay here, and I love being up in the mountains. And while I was pregnant, I'd go for walks down the driveway. Not every day, but I tried to go as much as I could. And I love the fresh mountain air, and I love the storms up here. I love how it will be sunny and then suddenly it's thundering and lightning and then hail suddenly and then the sun is back out. But I'm also very excited to move and to, have our own things, and I just think it's going to be such a blessing. And there's so much I'm excited about. Do you want to explain the land that we're going to be moving to, what it's kind of like?
Yeah, this opportunity comes from friends at church. They were so gracious to say that we could stay on their property, and they have it's crazy, 60 acres, which depending on who you are, maybe a lot or maybe a little, but 60 acres of land here in Arkansas, still on the mountain, but very, very beautiful. So it's super vast of fields as well as a bunch of, if you go further back, tons of forest. And so it's still that beautiful Arkansas feel and still that mountain feel and mountain air as well. And also right across, there's a small little, what do you call it? Field, paddock? I don't know what you call it, of cows that are right across. And it's not like a production thing, so that thankfully it's not nasty or smelly or something like that, but it's just a couple, maybe 20, 30 cows, and so it's just pretty seeing them as the sun goes down. You just see a big vast field with a bunch of cows and the sun going down. It's very pretty.
Yeah, I'm really excited on this new property to have Shiloh outside more. Maybe we'll get a little picnic table or something. We might be doing some hand washing while we're there because we haven't found a washing machine yet. So I'm excited to get a little barrel and just have him always out there with me. And yeah, that's really a beautiful view. But yeah, it's been quite a journey trying to find a place though. At first we were looking a lot on, what's that site called?
Zillow.
Yeah. We were looking a lot on Zillow at first, and somebody once told us that people in Arkansas value their things too much, and I was like, what does that even mean? And then on Facebook Marketplace I saw somebody was selling a vacuum cleaner, and it looked pretty beat up, and they were selling it for kind of a high price, and I looked in the description, it said, still works, just need to get the hairball out. Back, and there's this big clump of hair you can see in the photo, and it's the same kind of with the houses as well. We'd go to look at houses and it seemed like they would not be certified.
No, a lot of them were not up to code, I'd say. We were looking at this one. It was a nice area in a way. I mean, it was very pretty, and it was kind of back there in the country still, and it was a little cabin. Super small, but we were like, that's fine. It was just us and a little baby coming. It doesn't matter if it's small or anything like that. But when we went to go look at it, it was really dirty, and there was rat poop everywhere or mouse poop, whatever. It's the same thing for me. So we went there, and then Emmeline was like, well, it's not so bad. You can clean it up or something like that. And then we talked to our friend, and he's a builder, and we were like, and we told him, well, the walls are also made out of particle board or plywood. And he was like, well, plywood actually absorbs everything in the air, and it doesn't let it go. So if there's rat poop and that has been wafting through the air, that it's going to stay in the plywood, and we're about to have a new baby who has low immune system. And even if we didn't have a new baby who has low immune system, I wouldn't want to be smelling particle wood. So it was just like, and so we were like, okay, I don't know if this is going to work. And we asked the realtors, and they were like, they said something like, well, like we would ask if is there any way to clean it up or anything like that, and the realtor said owner said that it's clean to his standards, and we're like, oh, okay. So it was a rough go of it sometimes. You know, it's not to say everyone's house in Arkansas is gross or anything like that, but a lot of times people who, especially who are not living there or not using the thing, tend to not think. They think about it as what it was, not what they're selling it as, like what it was when they bought it, not necessarily what they're selling it as 20 years later, or because they don't live there and stuff like that. So we had bounced around a couple different apartments, and none of them were really working out.
Yeah, we were looking at one place, and it looked really good in the photos. And I talked with the person, I called them, and they like talked it up, and they were like, honestly, I should be selling it for more than it should, you know, that I'm listing it for, but you know, for, you know, kind of like saying like for the right person sort of deal. And I was like, wow, this is great. So we drove to Missouri for it because we're pretty close to the Missouri border. And we got there, and it looked nothing like the photos. And we realized those photos were probably from when they first got the place. And I don't think the person had actually been in it for quite some time. And the walls were peeling, things were falling apart, mold. Yeah, it was crazy. But we've been so like, you know, your standards get lower and lower and lower, and we were like, we'll let you know, because we were actually considering it. Yeah. But we were starting to kind of give up hope. But then by God's grace, we found the place, and it's been a rough go trying to get it started, you know, trying to figure out electricity and internet and all that. But we're hoping that this week we can start moving in. Yeah. It's been a little bit slow because I'm still recovering from postpartum. The tear that I had should have taken 4 to 6 weeks. It's almost been 6 weeks, and I still keep reopening it, which is a little frustrating, but I'm learning a lesson out of it, which is rest the first time so you don't have to rest 3 times after. So yeah, just trying to take some time now to rest before moving in, and then even when moving in, I won't be bending over at all. I'll do all the things that are within my reach. But really so excited to have like a baby room, and because, you know, for a while here we were looking for a place, so we didn't set up a baby room. Yeah. When Shiloh was born, all we had set up was a bassinet in the living room and a few outfits beneath it. Yeah. We were grossly unprepared. If it wasn't for our midwife, it would have been a lot harder. She like set the whole room up and basically made a makeshift baby room that we've still been using. So yeah, she got everything. She would like come in and she was like, I was shopping upstairs, because in the upstairs room we kept all the baby stuff packaged up, and she was like, and I pulled this out for you, I think you'll need it. And so yeah, she even got our little baby wipe warmer for us. We found it. She found it at the thrift store, and she cleaned it and set it up for us. So yeah, the whole setup that she did, like Samuel said, we've just been still utilizing it in the same way. Yeah. But in this new place, we're really excited, and the people we're renting it from said that we can kind of do whatever we want to it as long as we check in with them. But we might be doing some painting on the walls, and some little like renovations like that. But yeah, we are so excited, but this place has been a blessing. Yeah. One thing I'm excited about as well is, what we're going to move to now, we don't know if it's permanent as well, meaning, you know, I have the job that I'm at here, but that's for another 5 months. It's already been a month almost. And then after that, who knows where God will take us. But in the meantime, we know at least we'll be here for this certain amount of time. So at the very least, we can start, like you said, setting up the baby room, and we have the ministry channel that we do, and so we set up like, we want to set up like almost like not a podcast, but like a show room where you can recording room almost, and so that will be nice to have a space dedicated to stuff like that, and who knows, maybe we'll transition that to doing something on the Homestead channel with that kind of thing, but we'll see what happens.
But we still will have all the beautiful nature, and that was really the most important part, is still being able to homestead, able to garden, able to do all these different things. That's absolutely our priority, outside of course, having a roof over our head. But yeah, so we're excited to start doing all that and to show you guys all the new parts. There's so much of that property to explore too, outside of just the plot of land that you'll be staying on that's been cleared. So I'll have to ask our friend and see. I'm sure he's explored it 1,000 times, but to see where we could go, that might be interesting on there. So yeah.
And maybe we could talk about one of our favorite memories from this property, since we're moving soon. But hopefully the next video will be, by God's grace, if I can get out of bed for long enough.
Yes.
If we can do a tour and show the new property. But yeah, having you guys follow us on this journey here for 6 months has been, or 7 now, about 7 months. Yeah, it's been such a blessing, and this place has been such a blessing. But excited for the new chapter, and also we're keeping it minimal at the same time, because when you move, you realize there's so much that you need. This house had a lot of kitchen supplies, a vacuum, a mop, washer and dryer, a comforter, just those little things that you realize, oh my goodness, I need all these things. But we're trying to just really thrift shop and keep it to the absolute bare minimum, since we don't know if we'll be here for just the 5 more months that he's on this doing the Bible work, contract for that job, or if we'll be here for the next few years. We really don't know what God's plan is, so trying to keep it light. But things that we did get, like the pressure cooker, that's going to go with us everywhere by God's grace. If we go get sent, to Japan or something, we'll be packing that in our suitcase. But yeah, trying to keep it minimal and cheap. But yeah, it's been such a blessing. But what's one of your favorite memories from this property?
I'll have to think about that. Well, I think one of my favorite ones that we were able to do was really setting up the garden for the first time, because that was the first time I had ever gardened, literally. Well, I gardened one time in school and stuff like this, Shiloh. I gardened in school a little bit, but I'd never done like a full-scale garden and everything like that. So that was a very fun experience, getting out there, getting to be in the nature of it, and being able to do that on such a beautiful landscape as well. And also the views up here are just gorgeous.
Amen. Yeah, one of my favorites is when we first moved up here. I love the foliage. I prefer it. But it was really lovely when we first came up here, and everything was dead, and I was like, ugh, Arkansas is not that pretty. Because it was, March, the very beginning of March, so they'd just gotten out of winter. But because all the foliage was dead, you don't realize it unless you look back on like our first few videos. But if you stand right here and look out, you can tell that you are 1,700 feet in the air. You can tell you're on top of a huge mountain range. You can see so much, and it's so beautiful. But another one of my favorite memories was, and it's in another video, I'll link it up here, is when we first moved here and we were setting up the compost bin and the clothing line, which we were so excited about, like the idea of having a compost bin and hanging up our laundry, which we've utilized both of those every day pretty much.
Yeah, until it got like cold-ish. We stopped using the clothesline because the trees grew in, or not cold, when it got hot actually, and the trees grew in, it was harder to dry clothes, but that's about it.
Yeah, I haven't been using it as much postpartum because I just don't have as much time. But we're gonna bring that with us to the RV. But yeah, I think that's one of my favorite memories. And then this is the house that we had our first baby, so that's a really sweet memory too that we'll carry with us. And what are you excited about for the new property?
For the new property, I'm really excited about kind of exploring it in a way. And also, we haven't revealed to it yet. So next week, we'll show you what it looks like and give pictures and everything. Of this week, we won't be doing that. We'll save it for next week. But yeah, I'm excited to be closer to things as well, because we're so far from everything, for us at least, an hour away from just about anything. It's really far, and work as well. So we'll be much closer to work, which means more time to spend with family, more time posting content on both of the channels, more time writing sermons and series and different things like that. And so I'm excited for time, especially. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting little thing. And we'll be close to some very close friends of ours as well, which is fun. We love the neighbors here. We're going to miss them a lot. But yeah, it's been a fun experience.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's so funny, but for the cow field that's across the way, because we were vet students, and so at my mom's farm sanctuary, we had 2 cows that we had rescued, 2 male cows, and I think they're Jerseys. And then I worked in with cows all of college and in vet school, so I love them, and I can't wait as Shiloh grows to carry him across the road and let him see the cows. And I just keep picturing sitting outside, like on the picnic table, which we don't have yet. I don't know if we'll get one, but anyhow, I picture sitting outside with him and him on like a little play mat and like just being outside more. This place is so beautiful, but I'm not outside as much, but I don't know why, but I feel like at this new place we'll be outside much more, and the views outside are it's a different kind of beauty.
It's a smaller area, and so if it's a smaller area, because this is a very big house, you're kind of forced to go outside to do certain things, and I'm actually excited about that as well. But yeah.
Yeah, it's such a blessing, but God has really blessed us all the way through, and trying to find a place was a little bit stressful, but as soon as we kind of let go and we're like, God, you'll guide us. That's always how it works. That's when we found one. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll keep you guys updated with everything, and can't wait to reveal what it looks like and show that whole journey of moving in. Yeah. And yeah, right now it's in a state of chaos. We had started moving some things in, but we don't have boxes, so we're just using our suitcases. So we would load it with clothes. Samuel would go and just dump it, and then bring the empty suitcase back. So there's just a big pile of clothes, there's boxes, and it's pretty chaotic right now. And right now with the baby, I'm doing okay at maintaining, but doing new things such as moving into a new place, that's a kind of different thing, but God will guide, and we might be living a little chaotically for a little bit, but by God's grace it will become ordered.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm excited to do more homesteading things out there as well too, because there's more property, so you can do more interesting things. But it'll be a fun experience, and we'll keep you guys updated and moving on that way. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And next week will be the reveal of all that. Keep in mind in the links as well that you can check out the Homestead channel, the ministry channel, and we started a Patreon as well, and we're still fleshing out all ideas and websites and stuff like that, so feel free to stay in contact in that way. But thank everybody who's been here this far, and we're going to jump in a new chapter.
All right, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you next week.
God bless.